Hello, great viewers. How are you doing? Yesterday, we talked about a professor who said that Biafra brought more pains to the minorities. It's like we, the majorities, the Igbos, were enjoying and they were suffering in Biafra. And he also made some comments. He said that Igbos were fighting two wars, fighting against Nigeria and the minorities. And an elder Milo's section has reacted to this. I would like you to listen to what he said. There is so much wisdom. He's replying this professor now. You need to listen.
Okay, analysis of your presentation, Azuka. Good presentation again of Professor Akpan talking about Biafra. Well, Professor Akpan is not well informed about the Biafra. I don't think that he was listening to rumor. I'm surprised that a professor in America is exhibiting a shallow knowledge about issues that concern his own place. First of all, I want to correct Professor Akpan. That is why when you interview these pseudo-intellectuals that we have in Africa, you need to have data to push on them so that they will know that they are shallow. First of all, Mr. Akpan Ojukwu did not declare Biafra. Eastern House of Assembly declared Biafra. And it was a minority like you that named that nation Biafra. I want to let you know that. So whenever we talk about Biafra, we're talking about you. I don't like to use the word minorities, but since you're calling yourself minority, let me use it for you in particular, not any other person. It was minority, you, that named the nation Biafra. Okay? So the idea that Ojukwu declared it is incorrect. It was declared by the Eastern House of Assembly. All the chiefs in Eastern Nigeria was consulted. They were summoned. They assembled in Enugu. There was no objection. And somebody from your place said, hey, this new nation name should be called Biafra. And everybody agreed. I want you to go and do research and find out the name of the person. So what you're saying here is not correct. This is the problem with the black people. That's why Africa will never perform. African elites are narrow-minded. If African elites have 1/4 of white people's elite, I don't know how they did it. I think from kindergarten, that's where they opened their mind. If African elites have 1/4, 25% of white people's elite, Africa should have been turned upside down. Do you see the hatred a professor like you is spewing out baselessly? You did not know that a minority, I'm using this, I don't like to use the word minority, but I will use it since you're calling yourself minority. It was minority like you that named that place Biafra. You didn't know that. Okay, the only statement you made through here is that some casualties coming from your place was not reported by Biafra. Well, Biafra cannot report it because your place was under occupation by Nigeria. Most of the atrocities committed in your place was committed by Nigerian armed forces. Just like I had the job people say that the Biafrans killed Adakaboro. No, the Biafrans did not kill Adakaboro. It was Adekunle, Benjamin Adekunle, Black Scorpion, that killed Adakaboro. Because he gave Adakaboro arms and munitions, and he suspected that Adakaboro was using that arms and ammunition for something else and not for intended purpose. So he was ordered, Benjamin Adekunle ordered his troops to get him arrested. In the process of trying to get him arrested, he was killed. Okay? Your area was under occupation by Nigerian armed forces. So Biafrans don't know what's going on there. Okay? So I want to clear you on first part because I will take your points one by one. The major point of this first clearing is that it was you that named that nation Biafra. It was not Igbos. It was you that named it Biafra. There was due consultative assembly in the old Eastern House of Assembly, and there was consultation to the local chiefs. All the chiefs in Eastern Nigeria was consulted, and they unanimously supported the action. So it is wrong to say that Ojukwu declare Biafra. You are an intellectual. Somebody on the street can say that and I will ignore him. But being that you are a professor, I will not allow you to get away with that kind of comment. So you need to go back, because you are exposing your ignorance in what you don't know. That is why Black Africa does not perform. The elites of Black Africa, including their professors, their quality is very low. If I compare you with a white professor in Florida, by quality, you are like 25% and he's 95%. That's why he's able to run United States of America, and that is why you are taking refuge there. If I give you something, that University of Florida, they hired you. You are a black man, you are from Africa, they hired you with open mind. If that university is in your village right now, you will start to do, this is Igbo, this is Ghanaian, this is Kenya. But you see, the white man hired you. You get any salary because they are open-minded. That's why they're professor. They spew positive. They spew how things should be done. Even if things was done wrong, they say, no, this is the way we're gonna do it this time. They don't spew negative. It is only black professors that spew negative. That is why I rate the quality of black people very low in quality, human quality index. You are an example of that. Professor who benefited from white people. You're a black man, they could discriminate you and say, come on, get out, go back to your jungle in Africa. But they hired you, gave you professor, probably you went to school here for scholarship too. Can you do the same thing in your village? Can you bring a Ghanaian with this hatred you have with your neighbor? Can you get a Ghanaian in your village and make them professor? Can you bring a Kenyan in your village and make them professor? That's why when I talk here, people think I'm stupid. Black PhD doesn't want anything. That's why they don't perform. Oh, Tinubu don't have certificate. I say, what for? Why should Tinubu have a certificate? Go to your university and see what professors are doing there. Go to your governors that are doctors and see what they're doing. These guys are still primitive and backward. I bring a white boy or a white girl, 22 years old, who is a PhD, you will see what he will do. Let us try it. They have shown you what they can do in South Africa. They think out. They solve problems. They don't cage envy. They don't cage hatred. They don't cage primitivity. They don't cage backwardness in themselves and use it to spew out poison like Professor Akpan is doing. Let me stop this here.
Well, like I said, that was from Milo's Corner. Milo's Corner has a section in this our channel. He is an elder. He contributes. Yeah. I believe somehow this message will get to Professor Akpan. We understand, just like we have Professor Soludo in Anambra, being a professor does not mean, especially in this part of our divide, African country, it doesn't mean the person has arrived. And based on what you heard from Milo's Corner, there are certain things expected of a professor. It's not to be envious, jealous, and trying to spark ethnic hatred. And according to Milo, this professor was not well informed. He just came up this and that. You know, the common Niger, the professor spoke like an average Niger Delta guy. He has been tutored, and I know he will listen. One day he will see this video and listen to this audio. Ojukwu did not declare Biafra. It was a kind of mandate on him. The Eastern Assembly asked him to do that. Asked him, they declared Biafra, and it was the person that was asked to be in charge. And as at that point in time, it was necessary to escape the troubles in Nigeria, just like it's beginning to build up again. So I don't know why, like he calls himself minorities, I don't know why they feel differently. He said they have never agreed with us. They were the major victims. And Milo told you properly, your land was occupied by the Nigerian forces. And that was the main time that you were dealt with. But rather than agree with an Igbo man, you prefer to, okay, stick to Nigeria and accept whatever. Meanwhile, we thank Milo's Corner for that tutoring, that small lesson. We might bring you some comments from Milo on this particular topic. Thanks for watching.